Uh, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Let me start, first of all, by congratulating the organizers of this event, and in particular my good friend Nectaria, for this excellent event debating critical issues facing the European Union and Greece. DEPA is proud to be part of the Southern Gas Corridor and for its continual contribution towards its ongoing development. The Southern Gas Corridor underpins regional market development and integration. As you are all aware, on May 17th, the TAP marked the start of the construction of the project. As DEPA, our 25 years contract with SAC Denis 2 Consortium already renders us an important stakeholder of the project. But beyond this, DEPA remains committed to broadening the Southern Gas Corridor. First, by widening its geographical scope, promoting projects linking so far untapped sources directly to the European markets. Second, by extending its reach to benefit the isolated Southeast European region. Driving DEPA strategy is our goal to help shape open, integrated markets, linking the wider area with Europe's major networks and hubs. Our strategic goal is to assume a leading position in a competitive environment, supplying diversified gas with fair competition and affordable prices. Certainly, the economic environment we operate in has changed dramatically for all of us, with abundant supply, sluggish energy demand, and low prices markets in a state of flux, and most worryingly, investments in infrastructure are being postponed. However, at DEPA, we are optimistic and convinced of the long-term importance of natural gas. We are convinced that the balanced cocktail of natural gas and renewables will prevail, still be there on the subsoil and national policies. I remind you that the Paris Climate Change Conference's main statement refers to emissions control and their reduction, nevertheless defining their origin. No reference is made pro or against renewables or natural gas. First, because it's consistent with Europe's need for sustainable energy and its climate goals to definitively decarbonize the globe's economy. Second, the abundance of gas reserves can meet the growing energy demand, while gas is also vital for energy security based on diversification. Moreover, the current situation of well-supplied markets is helping to accelerate trends for more flexible contractual structures as established suppliers face increasing competition. DEPA's successful negotiations with Gazprom illustrate this, and we continue working towards a more competitive, flexible basket of gas supplies at price levels of Western Europe. Our optimism for gas has determined our development plans based on the premise that over the next 10 years, consumption will increase to 5 BCM per year. We are extending our low-pressure distribution network lines by approximately 1,300 kilometers to supply gas to 16 prefecture capitals and various industrial zones and remote towns. And secondly, by providing access to consumers located away from the national transmission system through small-scale LNG and CNG facilities. Consistent with DEPA's new commercial approach, which is customer-oriented and socially and sustainably growth-driven, our strategy creates 1,300 temporary jobs and 700 permanent ones, and will serve more than 160,000 new consumers, civil and industrial. DEPA is equally busy developing the Southern Gas Corridor, as mentioned at the beginning, maximizing the development opportunities in Greece, but also in our broader region. We have 4 directly relevant projects which are designated PCIs and benefit from EU funding. Let me stress that in addition to their geopolitical significance, each is being developed as market-driven projects. Briefly, we will start with the IGB. The 3 to 5 BCM project is pivotal for enabling Southeast Europe to access the Southern Gas Corridor and the vertical corridor success. The market test launched by the company ICGB, following the FID taken on December the 10th of 2015, is progressing. We are pleased that on the first non-binding phase resulted in 9 expressions of interest requesting a total aggregate capacity of approximately 4.3 BCM per year from Greece to Bulgaria and 1 BCM in reverse flow. Once the second binding phase ends in early autumn and confirms the level of actual booked capacity, construction can start in the next year and first gas can flow from Greece to Bulgaria and vice versa by 2019. We are also supporting the new 6.1 BCM FSRU in Alexandroupolis, developed for the time being by Gastrade, seizing opportunities offered by the shifting LNG market for abundant and competitive volumes for Europe. Moreover, the interest shown by international companies such as Bulgarian Energy Holding and the American Cheniere meets DEPA's requirement for market-driven projects. Coming to the Eastern Mediterranean area, the EastMed pipeline achieves our objective to broaden the Southern Corridor by linking Eastern Mediterranean gas directly to the European markets. It also serves European goals for enhanced security, enabling a completely new route for diversified supplies, in addition to the Turkish route for the Caspian gas. Let me say that we are pleased that IGI Poseidon and Noble have signed very recently a cooperation agreement related to the finalization of the EastMed project's pre-FEED activities. Our good partner and friend, Elio Ruggeri, IGI Poseidon CEO, will shortly update you on the EastMed's development progress. Finally, but not least, DEPA is promoting the 12 BCM Poseidon offshore pipeline connecting the Greece to Italy. This is an absolutely mature project. The FEED can be taken in any time as soon as gas resources are secured. There are various possibilities. Poseidon can transport gas, which may become available at Greece's border, including Caspian gas, but also the one prevailing from Middle East, Iran, and Kurdistan. Alternatively, and eventually, and with reference to the MOU signed on the 24th of February of this year between DEPA, Edison, and Gazprom, it could form part of the southern route for Russian gas, developed according to EU regulations and consolidating a southern European gas hub. This MOU foresees the cooperation of the parties in assessing and possibly developing a new supply route for Russian gas to Europe. The joining work groups are making significant progress on the development and implementation of all necessary actions. Ladies and gentlemen, and at DEPA we are clear about our goals in the new era. First, to preserve our key role in a justly liberalized domestic market and further strengthen public sector's investment in a rational context. And second, to supply gas at competitive prices from diversified sources and routes, considering society and consumer first and strengthening energy security at home and abroad. Thank you very much for your attention.